What's up guys, David here. Welcome to another video. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm running a couple of tests because tomorrow I'm recording a literal rock star, Mike Kroeger from Nickelback. Because the guy has one of the best rock-based sound in history, for the uneducated, just listen to Dark Horse. I don't want to mess with it, of course, but I do want to capture it in the best way possible and enhance it. And so I set up two chains that I'm going to quickly A/B and see which one is going to work. Of course, I don't have his bass here. Actually, I don't have a bass at all, so I'm going to use my down-tuned guitar clean to run these tests and just get a general idea. The first chain is going to be my API 512C into the Wes Audio NG76. Usually this is my go-to favorite chain for electric bass. It sounds great. I know what I'm going to get when I have a world-class player and a great bass. That's all I need. But that's because up until now I didn't have the Drummer 1960 2 preamp channel strip. And that's the second option that I'm giving myself. I'm gonna test the two with my guitar and see what each chain gives me, hear the differences, so tomorrow I know what to expect when I'll run a quick test with Mike here. So let's start with API alone, then API into Wes Audio NG76, then Drummer 1960 normal, then bright mode, then high gain normal, and high gain bright mode. Let's go. The 1176 on. You can probably already tell why I like this combination, but let's try the drummer. Let's try bright mode. High gain flat. That sounds pretty cool. Bright mode, high gain. All right, I think this was already pretty interesting, and I think even this quick test tells you what a massive difference make one preamp versus another. I already have a pretty good idea of what is going to probably be my chain, although of course I will run this quick test when Mike is here with his instrument. But let's take a look and listen to the files themselves. The blue ones are the API. The first one is without the NG76, the second is with the NG76. The orange one are the 1960. The first one is flat normal, the second one is in bright mode, which I didn't really hear much of a difference, to be honest, while I was playing. And then we have the two high gain mode, normal and bright, which sounded really cool while I was playing, and we can see the massive difference in waveform. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see this is the high gain, tube distortion, super thick, but we're gonna talk about that. It's interesting to see that the normal modes, you can see they are kind of asymmetrical. There's this asymmetrical type of distortion saturation on this 2 preamp, which is really, really interesting. Let's take a listen. API without nothing, and then with the 76 on. With it. I mean, This combination is my favorite for a reason. I can even turn down the volume of this one. You hear it's not just a dynamic control, it's just the color of the 76 goes so well with the API. Let me turn it down a little bit, just a tiny bit, just in case we are fooling ourselves with level, and hear the API. Yeah, it's so much more dense, and just the color itself, love it. This, as for right now, would be my first choice. Let's hear the drummer though. Well, definitely, by far, the drummer is thicker. More low end, rounder, bigger, there's no doubt about it. So I'm gonna put the API without the 76 away for a second. I wanna compare the two, the flat drummer with the API and 76. Yeah, so obviously the difference is clear as day. The drummer is more saturated, it's bigger in the low end. All things that I would probably like for bass, but the API with the 76 has more articulation in the mid-range, especially we hear it in this passage here. It's not much, because actually the drummer is articulated as well. It's just, I would be slightly scared not to capture those mids in case I need them in the mix. But it's tempting. Like this is big. It sounds big. It's a hard battle. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, which one you like the best. And then we have the bright mode drummer, which it didn't sound much brighter. Let me compare it with the drummer normal mode and see. Yeah, it's more open. This might be a better option. How's the low end though? It seems lighter on the low end. Who knows if it's because it's got more mid-range and more openness in that area, and so it seems like it's got less low end. I'm not sure if I lose a little bit of that nice bass with the bright mode. It's definitely brighter, yeah. Let's compare at this point the bright mode with the API and see what we gain or lose. Again, let me loop this part. Yeah, it's interesting because the API is still more open, more mid-forward. I really like the overtones, but now that I pay attention to, it seems like the low mids of the drummer are bigger, but the really deep low end, that's why I will need to try this with bass that has a proper deep low end. The API seems to be there. If you hear the really low notes, and if you pay attention to the low extension, the API is like big too. Yeah, I mean, both of them are very, very cool. In this case, I would probably, let me hear again the non-bright mode. Now this one's got the best low end, I think. And then we have the distorted high gain modes here. Again, I hear less difference between the bright, which is now on top, and the non-bright at the bottom. Let me try to find this part. Yeah, I definitely like the normal mode in high gain. What I think I'm gonna do, I really like this sound. I can't have this sound as my only main bass sound because I need a clean sound. But what I think I'm gonna do definitely is mult the signal from his bass and run this one as a second line of recording. As for which one is gonna be my main, it's hard. I mean, at this point, if I pick the high gain distortion of the drummer, I should probably go with API and 76 for the main sound. His Spectre bass has a ton of low end. So when we are here recording, it's gonna be a matter of if that low end come through the API and 76 just fine, and I have more than enough, then I prefer to grab more mid-range because I can use it later. If instead I feel like it matches better to enhance even more that big, huge low end, and I have enough mids, then I'm gonna pick up the 60 low gain, but I'm definitely gonna grab the distorted high gain as a second line because it sounds great with this guitar. I can only imagine how it sounds with this bass. I mean, this is already a parallel distorted compressed bass, and I did it just with the preamp. So kudos to the 1960 because it's a great machine. But yeah, this is it. A quick test. I had to do it because tomorrow is tracking day with my Kroeger for Nickelback, and I wanted to do the test with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, if you want to book mix and mastering with me, go to the website mixbusttv.com. In there, you can find all the mix and mastering courses. If you want to access the exclusive in-depth mix and mastering videos here on YouTube, click the join button, become a MixBuzz TV member, get all the perks. And if the videos are helping you, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.